Hi guys. So we are entering the home stretch of Comp 1 online for the semester. Um, right now, up in Moodle, you have the last two kind of short writing assignments that I've been talking about, and on Monday, April 28th, I will put up your final quiz and your final essay assignment, which we consider your final exam. And I'll give you kind of some more instructions for those things on Monday. But right now, I typically don't, as you've noticed, open up the next week of assignments. I kind of just keep us working week by week. But you guys have done such an excellent job this semester of keeping up with things, and I know how busy life gets at this point of the semester, so I wanted to give you kind of a head start if you wanted it and could take advantage of it for next week's short writing assignment. So looking at what I posted this week, I want you to go over, of course, the assignment and all the resources really carefully. If you can, print off the assignments and the things that I ask you to print off. The first thing that I'd like for you to do is kind of go through that handout about propaganda and logical fallacies. And the logical fallacies handout also points you to the pages in your Little Brown Handbook that really go a little bit more into depth with some of those most common logical fallacies. And remembering as you kind of go over these things that logical fallacies, we typically talk about those more in the composition classroom, but they're a kind of propaganda in many ways. So because I want you to look at kind of the real world applications of a lot of these things, the assignment that goes with this, after you do the quick little diagnostic assignment, you have that worksheet, and I ask you to go in and just kind of list your best answer for what that situation is in terms of propaganda or logical fallacy techniques. So that's just kind of jog your mind. You get participation points for doing that. So again, choose the best choice on that worksheet and just fill that in the assignment link online. And then you'll be ready to do the mini essays assignment. I basically ask you to go to two different campaign websites and then look for, probably on YouTube, a pro-Obama ad and an anti-Obama ad. And that can be about the healthcare law, something specific. You'll kind of know when you see them, I'm sure. So what I'd like for you to do with all of these artifacts is find an example in each, at least one example, of propaganda or logical fallacy. And then write, I'm calling it a mini essay, but it's really just kind of a long paragraph, diagnosing it, kind of pointing out why, kind of describing what happens in the commercial or on the website that's an example of X propaganda technique, and perhaps analyzing it a bit in terms of why that might be misleading. So the trick with this assignment is that when I read your mini essays, I should not be able to tell who you support or don't support. And that's kind of one of the points of this assignment, beyond being able to kind of critically look for these examples of propaganda and logical fallacies. It's also to kind of train us to be able to look with an objective, critical eye on things that typically aren't objective. Because to be really good critical thinkers and to be really good at analyzing composition, which advertisements, websites, all of these things are composition, and certainly argumentative, rhetorical pieces of composition, we should be able to critically analyze things we agree with, not just things that we don't agree with. So that's kind of one of the tricks of this assignment, is that you have to try to kind of remove yourself. And I know that most of you probably aren't even voting age yet, so this is kind of just training to get yourself to look critically at campaign ads, because once you do start voting, I think you'll notice even more how inundated you are with these messages from campaigns and from people running for office. And it's so important to not be blind to logical fallacies when we agree with whether it's a politician, a writer, an advertisement. So that's kind of one of the points of this assignment, beyond, of course, making you more familiar with propaganda and logical fallacies. Because, as you can imagine, when you write arguments, when you put into practice good rhetoric, you want to be avoiding logical fallacies to make sure your composition is solid and good and not trying to be persuasive in an illogical way. So that's kind of the reasoning for this assignment. So your final product will be 4, again, mini essays, long paragraphs, and then a works cited page at the very end that has 4 sources on it. The Elizabeth Warren website, the Rand Paul website, and then 2 ad sources. Again, YouTube will probably be your easiest access to find those advertisements. So that's what you'll turn in on Monday. You also have some reading that you are doing, and the new batch of readings that I gave you yesterday, you don't need to respond to a classmate. I do want you to read and in the forums respond to 1 prompt per selection. I, of course, encourage you to talk to each other about the selections, perhaps in person, but I obviously cannot make sure you're doing that, but I encourage it. You'll have just a few more readings next week, too, and then we'll be finished up with your readings, your text list for the semester. The other short writing assignment for next week that if you just want to think about this week, that's fine. Don't worry about it yet, but I just wanted to kind of introduce it in case you did want to work ahead. In Comp 2, at least in our sequence at ECC, in Comp 2 our focus is on literary analysis. And you've probably already done some literary analysis in your high school classes. But at the end of Comp 1, I always like to just give this little assignment and just kind of a little taste of literary analysis so students, again, get that taste of it and are prepared with just kind of some of the ideas of what literary analysis looks like when they go to Comp 2. So for this assignment, which again, this is like the logical fallacies and political campaigns assignment, this is low stakes. It's not worth as many points, but it's still important that you work hard on it. So I give you 4 song lyrics, and you'll want to print off that assignment sheet so you can kind of tangibly have those. So the assignment is you'll choose one of those song lyrics and do a very brief literary analysis of them. I've also included in that packet, in the assignment, some terms of poetic devices that you often find in lyrics. I really encourage you to try to use some of that terminology in your analysis. So go over the PowerPoints that I've posted, get an idea of the concept of literary analysis, why we do it, what it looks like, and do your best with analyzing one of those songs. Don't listen to them. This isn't kind of a music analysis assignment. I just want you to look at them as if they're poetry. But again, kind of the method for the madness, the reason that we do this assignment is to kind of show you that you're surrounded all of the time by poetry, by literature that begs to be analyzed. And of course, some songs, some lyrics lend themselves better to analyzing than others, but you're surrounded all the time by literature, you're surrounded all of the time by rhetoric, so really thinking about that in these last couple of small assignments is what I want you to be doing. So your analysis will just be about 2 pages. Quote the lyrics as you analyze, and just again, try to put into practice some of the skills that you'll be introduced to. I will post at least one more video next Monday when I assign you your final quiz and your final essay, which again is the kind of big finale. So I'll walk you through that, and I'll also probably just touch on once more the literary analysis assignment, since that's something else you'll be working on next week. So keep working hard and keep in touch. Email me. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns, and we'll go from there. I need to talk to Mrs. Monteleone a little bit more about this, but this class will end before your regular semester in high school, so stay tuned in terms of what the last couple of weeks of this class will kind of look like and feel like. So thanks for all the work you're doing. Keep working hard. Keep pushing. You want to feel great at the end of the semester, not like you've just been run over by a truck. So be on top of things. If something doesn't make sense, please let me know. Talk to you later. Have a great week.